Most women I work with aren't afraid of speaking. They're afraid of what happens when they do. Because their voice doesn't just carry words, it carries history. It started early. They were praised for being helpful and not disruptive, rewarded for being polite and not powerful. So they learned to soften their tone, to wrap clarity in disclaimers, and to make brilliance sound like a suggestion. Then came adulthood. They became strategists, educators, and leaders. They mastered the language of competence, but their voice still trembled when the stakes were high. Not because they lacked skill, but because their system still remembered the cost of being bold. The cost of being bold is real. It's the meeting where you were called too much, the pitch where you said where your idea was ignored until someone else said it louder, the moment your clarity was mistaken for arrogance. So your body learned. Visibility is risky, confidence is dangerous, and your voice shrinks to protect you. This isn't a personality flaw, it's a nervous system pattern, one that can be decoded, rewired, and reclaimed. Because your voice isn't broken, it's bracing. And when we help it feel safe, it becomes clear, resonant, and unmistakably yours. Hello, my name is Grace Ng, and I help women like you find your voices. Today, we'll decode the three hidden beliefs that silence women in the workplace and show you how to reclaim your voice as a strategic asset. This is for the woman who's done everything right but still feels off. This webinar is for the woman who's read the books, taken the courses, and practiced the scripts, but still feels that her breath tightens when she speaks. She still feels her voice shake when she's challenged, and she still feels her body brace even when her mind says, "You're fine." It's for the woman who is brilliant, articulate, and emotionally aware, but whose system is tired of performing safety it doesn't feel. It's for the woman who's been told, "You're too sensitive, you're too intense, you're too much," and who's learned to shrink, soften, or over explain just to stay in the room. It's for the woman who leads, teaches, advocates, and creates, but who still second guesses her tone, her timing, and her right to take up space. It's for the woman who knows that her voice matters, but needs a system that helps her feel it in her body, not just her mind. If that's you, even quietly, you're in the right place because what we're about to do isn't just voice training. It's nervous system recalibration. It's emotional cache clearing. It's a return to the version of you that doesn't brace before she speaks. In our time together, you'll learn why your voice collapses under pressure and how to stop it, how hidden beliefs shape your tone, breath, and presence, a holistic method to reclaim vocal stamina and influence, how to speak with clarity even when emotions run high. What happens when your nervous system finally stops bracing? Let's imagine the version of you that no longer braces before she speaks. She walks into the room and doesn't scan it for safety because she already feels it. Her breath is deep, her posture is grounded, her voice lands with clarity, not apology. She doesn't rehearse her sentences in her head. She doesn't shrink when interrupted. She doesn't over explain to prove her worth. Instead, she speaks, she negotiates, she asserts, she leads. And she does it without tension, without collapse, without the quiet war between intellect and emotion. This is what happens when your nervous system is regulated, when your emotional cache is cleared, when your voice becomes a reflection of your truth, not your trauma. This is the heaven that we're building, not perfection, but presence, not performance, but power. What it feels like to be held hostage by your nervous system. Let's talk about the other side, the version of you that's still bracing, still performing calm, still trying to sound confident while your body is screaming, not safe. This is what hell looks like. You rehearse every sentence in your head before you speak. You over explain to prove you're credible. You soften your tone so that you won't be labeled too much. You leave meetings feeling like you disappeared, even though you were there the whole time. Your breath is shallow, your throat tightens, your nervous system confuses visibility with danger, and every time you speak, it feels like a negotiation between your truth and your trauma. You read the books, you've taken the courses, you've tried the mindset hacks, but nothing sticks because your system isn't regulated. It's just performing safety that it doesn't feel. So, what I'm about to show you is going to take you out of your comfort zone. But if you want to stop bracing, if you want to stop collapsing, if you want to finally speak with clarity, calm, and command, will you be comfortable with discomfort so that we can solve this tension once and for all? I've been teaching voice for nearly 20 years, not just technique, but physiology, psychology, and emotional safety. I teach somatic voice work, a functional approach that respects how the body actually works under pressure. And I've taught many women executives, leaders, lawyers, educators, creatives who are brilliant on paper but bracing in practice. I hold a specialist diploma in clinical hypnotherapy, which means I understand how the subconscious holds onto fear, shame, and self doubt, and how to rewire it gently. I'm also a practitioner of Jinshin Jitsu physiophilosophy, a healing art that helps the body release stored tension and restore energetic flow. But more than that, I've seen the patterns, the breath that collapses in meetings, the voice that tightens when challenged, the brilliant mind that goes blank under scrutiny. And I've built a system that doesn't just fix the voice, it frees the woman behind it. So this lady came to me for singing lessons. She was a brilliant, capable middle manager. But every time she tried to sing loudly, her body folded in on itself. Her jaw was locked, her tongue got tensed, her shoulders got hunched, and like her system was saying, loud isn't safe. So this wasn't just vocal technique, it was a full body shutdown. And she didn't know why. She mumbled at work and she didn't know why that hurt. At work, she mumbled. Her colleagues often asked her to repeat herself. She felt dismissed, misunderstood, and invisible. But it wasn't just about articulation, it was about fear, fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of expressing her true self in public. Her voice wasn't weak, it was bracing. Sorry, just let me get back there. We trace the tension to the stomach meridian, which governs the jaw, tongue, and the fear of being seen. Through Jiu-Jitsu, we release the stored tension. Through somatic voice work, we taught her nervous system that loud could be safe. And I told her something that she'd never heard before. The stage is a safe place. Here, self expression isn't punished, it's celebrated. And that was the moment that her system began to trust. So she found her voice and she got promoted to lead a team. She didn't just sing louder, she spoke more clearly, she stopped mumbling, she stopped bracing. And just last month, she got promoted. And now she leads a team where clear communication is vital. Now she advocates, she asserts, and she's heard. Not because she changed who she was, but because she finally felt safe enough to show up as herself. Voice isn't just sound, it's safety, it's visibility, it's power. And vocal mastery isn't about sounding perfect, it's about sounding like you, without apology, without collapse, and without fear. You'll learn how to identify the beliefs sabotaging your voice, rewire your vocal response through somatic methods, and use your voice as a strategic tool, not a performance. Let's be honest, most of the women I work with are brilliant. They've read the books, taken the courses, tried the mindset hacks. They want to change. They're ready to lead, but they don't buy not because they're not interested, but because their system still doesn't feel safe enough for their true voice to emerge. Here's what I've seen. They're afraid of being judged if they show up fully. They've been told that their voice is too much or not enough. They've internalized the idea that visibility equals vulnerability. They're skeptical of anything that feels too woo or too simplistic. And so they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment. They tell themselves they'll start when they feel more ready. But readiness isn't a mindset, it's a physiological state. And until the nervous system feels safe, no amount of logic will move them forward. That's why this work matters. Because when you regulate the system, the resistance dissolves. And the woman who once mumbled in meetings, she's now leading a team because her voice finally feels safe enough to be heard. I work with high achieving women, smart, skeptical, self aware. They've tried the mindset hacks, the voice tips, the leadership courses, and they're tired of being told to just speak louder or fake it till you make it. So let's name the objections because they are valid. Objection one: I've already tried everything. Yes, you've tried everything that your mind could grasp, but your nervous system doesn't speak mindset, it speaks safety. And until your body feels safe, no strategy will stick. Objection two: I don't want to be someone that I'm not. Good. This work isn't about changing who you are. It's about helping your system feel safe so that you can show up as who you've always been without apology. Objection three: I'm not sure that this will work for me. That is your nervous system protecting you. It's been burnt before. But this isn't a script, it's a recalibration. And you get to move at your own pace with tools that meet you where you are. If you felt the quiet yes in your body, even under the skepticism, then trust that. Because your voice isn't broken, it's just waiting for safety. And that's what we build here. And now let's move on to the three beliefs that hold women back to the workplace and how they affect you. Belief number one: if I speak too boldly, I'll sound arrogant. You're in a strategy meeting. You spent hours analyzing the data. You spotted the gap no one else saw. And you know exactly what needs to happen next. But when it's time to speak, your voice softens. You say, just a thought. You hinge. You dilute. You wrap your insight in disclaimers, even though it's not just a thought, it's a solution. And the room moves on. Someone else speaks with more certainty. Your idea resurfaces later, repackaged and praised. And you sit there wondering, why didn't I say it like that? It's not that you didn't know, it's that your system didn't feel safe enough to be clear. Because somewhere along the way, you learned boldness is arrogance. Confidence only makes people pull away. Clarity costs connection. And so your voice shrinks to protect you, not because you're unsure, but because you've been taught that being fully seen is risky. Research shows that low self esteem is directly linked to reduced vocal confidence and increased anxiety in public speaking settings. When self worth is fragile, the body compensates. Less breath support, reduced resonance, a tone that sounds tentative, not authoritative. The fear of being perceived as too much leads to vocal suppression. Your system literally dampens your sound to keep you safe. Boldness isn't arrogance, it's clarity. And clarity is what earns trust, respect, and leadership. Clinical hypnotherapy recordings help rewire subconscious beliefs around visibility and assertiveness so that your voice can reflect your expertise, not your fear. Belief two, the inner critic. They're judging my every word. You're in that same strategy meeting. You've spent hours preparing and you know the data inside out. You've anticipated objections, rehearsed your points, even practiced your tone. But when it's your turn to speak, your throat tightens, your breath shortens, and you hear yourself say, I'm not sure if this is relevant, but. And just like that, your insight is framed as optional. Inside, the critic is loud. Don't ramble. Don't sound too confident. Don't take up too much space. You feel your cheeks flush. Your voice trembles, not because you don't know, but because you're bracing for judgment that hasn't even happened yet. And someone repeats your idea after the meeting and it's praised. And you wonder why I couldn't say it like that. Again, it's not that you didn't have the words, it's that your system didn't feel safe enough to use them. Research shows that self criticism alters vocal pitch and intensity, mirroring the physiological markers of shame and fear. Your body hears the judgment before anyone else does, and it adjusts your voice to protect you from imagined rejection. The critic isn't strategic, it's reactive. It's trying to keep you safe by shrinking your presence. But safety doesn't come from silence, it comes from regulation. Somatic voice work drills help restore vocal control by retraining the breath body voice connection. They teach your system that clarity isn't dangerous, it's grounding. So your voice can reflect your insight, not your insecurity. Belief number three, I'm just lucky, I'm not really qualified. You're presenting your quarterly results. You've triple checked the data. You've anticipated every question, and you are the most prepared person in the room. But as you speak, your voice trembles, your throat tightens, and you rush through your slides, barely breathing between sentences. You avoid eye contact. You shrink your gestures. And afterwards, you replay every moment, wondering if they saw through you. You tell yourself, I'm just lucky. That wasn't leadership, it was survival. Even though you delivered with precision, your body didn't believe it. Because deep down, your system still thinks visibility is dangerous. That being seen means being exposed. That competence will be questioned the moment you stop performing perfection. So your voice doesn't reflect your expertise, it reflects your fear of being found out. Science says that imposter beliefs impair self expression and vocal presence. Imposter beliefs don't just live in your thoughts, they shape your physiology. When you feel like a fraud, Your body responds as if visibility is a threat. This isn't a mindset issue, it's a nervous system response. Research shows that imposter syndrome impairs self expression by triggering protective vocal patterns, less projection, more hesitation, and a tone that signals uncertainty even when the content is sound. Your voice doesn't reflect your expertise, it reflects your fear of being exposed. Your voice isn't a mask, it's your authorial signature. It holds your emotional truth, your intellectual rigor, and your lived experience. And when you speak from regulation, not performance, your voice becomes a channel, not a shield. And that's what builds trust. Not perfection, not polish, presence. Jinshin Voice integrates meridian based bodywork with somatic voice practices to reset emotional states at the source. By working with pathways like the stomach and kidney meridians, often associated with fear, visibility, and self worth, we help the body release stored tension and recalibrate its response to being observed. This isn't about sounding confident, it's about feeling safe enough to be clear. Let's step back for a moment. Your body isn't just a vessel, it's a memory system. Every emotional experience that you've had, every moment of doubt, fear, shame, or pressure has been recorded, not in words, in breath patterns, in muscle tension, in posture, in hormonal rhythms, in the way that your nervous system fires before you even speak. These aren't abstract memories, they're embodied ones, and they show up as tight shoulders when you're challenged, a collapsed chest when you feel dismissed, a racing heart when you're about to speak up. Over time, these patterns become automatic, like background apps running silently, draining energy and clarity. And here's the shift: you don't rewrite these patterns by thinking harder, you rewrite them by working with the system that stores them. Somatic methods don't just treat symptoms, they access the body's memory system, gently clearing outdated emotional scripts and restoring physiological balance. At Vocalogy, we use neuro voice, a neuroscience informed method that activates underused brain regions and calms overactive ones. Excuse me. It rewires how your brain sends commands to your body, restoring breath, movement, and emotional regulation. Jinshin Voice. Jinshin Voice is a somatic recalibration system that blends traditional Chinese medicine, Jinshin Jutsu physiophilosophy, and somatic voice work to restore vocal clarity by addressing the emotional root, not just the symptom. We work directly with organ meridians that correspond to specific emotional states. For example, the kidneys, which correspond to fear, survival, and visibility. Lungs, grief and loss, suppressed emotion. Stomach, worry, self doubt, and jaw and tongue tension. By applying gentle touch and breath based vocal drills, we stimulate these pathways to restore stored tension, to release stored tension, and recalibrate the nervous system's response to being seen and heard. This isn't mystical, it's mechanical. It's how the body processes safety and how the voice reflects it. When the system feels safe, the voice becomes clear, not because you're performing confidence, but because your body finally believes it. Some emotional scripts run deep, below the level of conscious awareness, shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and responses in ways that we don't fully understand. These ingrained patterns can hold us back from achieving our goals, expressing ourselves freely, or even transform experiencing joy in our daily lives. And that's where the transformative power of clinical hypnotherapy comes in. Through carefully crafted guided meditation recordings, we have the opportunity to bypass the critical mind, which often serves as a barrier to change, and work directly with the subconscious. This approach allows us to tap into the underlying beliefs and emotions that contribute to our current challenges. By addressing these root causes, we can effectively rewrite behavioral patterns at the source, creating profound shifts in our experience. Clinical hypnotherapy is particularly effective at quieting the inner critic that many of us struggle with, helping to dissolve the pervasive fear of visibility that can prevent us from fully showing up in our personal and professional lives. It also plays a crucial role in restoring emotional safety, giving us the space to explore our feelings and experiences without judgment. Ultimately, this healing method opens the door to self discovery, empowerment, and lasting change, encouraging us to step into a more authentic and fulfilled version of ourselves. Your body remembers everything, but it also knows how to let go. When you work with the system and not against it, you don't just feel better, you become more fully yourself. This work isn't for everyone, and that's intentional. It's not for those who are looking for a quick tip to sound more confident without addressing the system behind the sound. It's not for those who believe mindset is purely mental and the body has nothing to do with it. It's not for those who want to bypass discomfort rather than work through it. And it's not for those expecting results without reflection, practice, or physiological recalibration. Now, before we move on, I want to invite you into a moment of quiet honesty. Ask yourself, have I noticed patterns in my body, tightness, fatigue, shallow breathing, that seem to show up in high pressure moments? Do I tend to intellectualize my stress even when my body is clearly reacting? Am I ready to explore how my emotional history might be stored in my physiology and how that might be influencing my presence today? If your answer is yes, even a quiet yes, then you're in the right place. I'm offering this because I've seen too many brilliant women shrink, not because they lack skill, but because their systems are overloaded. They've been told to just breathe, just speak up, just be confident, but no one explained why their breath collapses under pressure, why their voice tightens when they feel judged, and why their body reacts before their mind can intervene. I built Vocalogy for women who've outgrown surface level advice. For those who've tried mindset work, voice training, and even therapy, and still feel like something's missing. Because what's missing isn't effort, it's integration. You don't need another script. You need a system that honors how your body stores emotion, how your nervous system responds to stress, and how your voice reflects all of it. I'm offering this because I believe emotional safety is a prerequisite for vocal clarity. Because I've seen what happens when women finally feel safe enough to speak, not perform, not posture, just speak. And because I know that when you regulate the system, the voice follows, not as a trick, but as a truth. When you begin this work, the first thing you notice isn't a better voice, it's a better baseline. Your breath deepens, your posture realigns, your nervous system quiets, and the emotional patterns that used to hijack your body, they start to dissolve. This isn't about sounding more confident. It's about being more regulated. So that confidence isn't something you perform, it's something that you embody. Here's what clients experience when they commit to this process: calm, grounded presence in high stakes moments, breath that supports, not sabotages, clarity and stamina, emotional resilience that holds even under pressure, a body that feels safe enough to express, lead, and be seen, a nervous system that no longer confuses visibility with danger. This is the shift from from reactive to regulated, from fragmented to integrated, from sounding unsure to feeling unmistakably whole. If you've ever walked out of a conversation thinking, I didn't say what I meant, I sounded too soft or too sharp, I wish I could rewind and try again, then you already know this isn't about voice. It's about safety, strategy, self respect. Many women were never taught how to communicate under pressure, how to assert without guilt, how to negotiate without collapse, how to decode emotion without losing clarity. And that's why Vocalogy exists, to give you the tools that you should have had all along. Our methods combine neuroscience, somatic therapy, and traditional Chinese medicine concepts to help you rewire breath and posture through neural voice, release stored emotional tension through Jinshin voice, build vocal stamina through nervous system recalibration. Because when your body feels safe, your message becomes unmistakably clear. These aren't fluffy affirmations. They are precision tools that bypass the inner critic and rewire the subconscious. You learn to dissolve fear of visibility, reframe limiting beliefs around authority and expression, restore emotional safety so that your body stops bracing and starts trusting. Our strategic communication workshops are led by Paul Fu, former Dean of the Judicial College and former Registrar of the Supreme Court of Singapore. These workshops these workshops teach high stakes communication with clarity and integrity. You'll master the art of confident assertion, the art of confident negotiation, conflict recovery and emotional decoding, mental clarity under pressure. These aren't soft skills, they're survival skills for women who lead, speak, and advocate every day. This is your toolkit, not for performance, for presence, for power, and for finally saying what you mean and being heard the way that you deserve. You've spent years building expertise, navigating pressure, and showing up for everyone else. But when it comes to your voice, your clarity, your presence, your ability to be heard, no one gave you the tools. And that changes today. I've designed Vocalogy's offerings to meet you exactly where you are. Whether you're just starting to explore emotional regulation or whether you're ready to recalibrate your system with expert support, there's a path for you. Tier 1, the Grounding Kit. Designed for the curious skeptic who wants to embark on a gentle journey of self discovery and emotional exploration, this kit offers a unique blend of resources to help you connect with yourself at your own pace. Within this tier, you'll find guided meditation recordings accompanied by full scripts, priced at just 18.95 Singapore dollars. These recordings provide a serene introduction to mindfulness, allowing you to delve into your thoughts and feelings without any pressure. Each session is crafted to encourage reflection and promote personal growth in a calm and welcoming manner. Additionally, we sell our Jinshin voice book titled Harmony is in Your Hands for $25. This enlightening book serves as a companion to your meditation practices, offering insights to the art of self healing and emotional balance. It explores the principles of Jinshin Jutsu, the Japanese healing art, giving you practical tools to harmonize body and mind. This grounding kit is the perfect starting point for anyone who wants to explore their emotional patterns quietly on their own terms. It invites you to take the first steps towards understanding your inner landscape, fostering a deeper connection with yourself, and promoting lasting well being. Tier 2, the Clarity Path. This program is designed specifically for the analytic achiever who is eager to decode their emotions and rewire their thinking patterns for better outcomes. If you're someone who thrives on structure and seeks a science based approach to personal development, this course is the perfect fit for you. Our self paced course, Explore Jinshin Voice, featuring the Jinshin Voice methodology, is available for just $38. This option allows you to learn at your own pace, fitting comfortably into your lifestyle while you engage deeply with the material. For those who want to enhance the experience, there's an enticing bundle option available for $72, which includes Harmonies in Your Hands, which complements the course content. This bundle provides an added layer of understanding and reinforces the key concepts presented in the course. Tier 3, the Integration Lab. This tier is designed for the woman who is truly ready to recalibrate her inner system with expert guidance and support. It's an opportunity to deep dive into personal transformation and embrace your authentic self. We offer one-to-one coaching sessions priced at 150 Sing dollars per hour. These personalized sessions provide tailored guidance to help you navigate your journey and address specific challenges that you may be facing, of which we have an 8 session package available for $1,080. This package allows for more sustained commitment, ensuring that you have the support you need to create lasting change and build momentum in your growth journey. 16 session package priced at 2,000 Sing dollars. This comprehensive option is perfect for those looking to immerse themselves fully in their transformation process, ensuring that you have ample time to explore, grow, and embody your authority. Enjoy the journey and take the steps necessary to fully integrate your newfound self into all aspects of your life. Tier 4, the Authority Accelerator. This tier is designed specifically for professionals operating in high stakes environments. This tier caters to those who wish to hone their skills in leadership, advocacy, and negotiation. And as part of this tier, we offer our workshop, The Art of Confident Assertion at Singapore dollars at 350 Singapore dollars. This workshop focuses on empowering you to express your views and opinions with clarity and confidence. You learn techniques to assert yourself effectively in various situations, ensuring that your voice not only gets heard but also commands respect. Registration for our second workshop, The Art of Confident Negotiation, is currently open. Your investment for this workshop is 350 Sing dollars as well. In this engaging workshop, you'll discover the essential strategies for negotiating successfully, whether in boardrooms, team meetings, or client interactions. By practicing your negotiating skills, you will increase your ability to advocate for your needs and interests while fostering positive relationships. This tier is ideal for you if you are a leader, advocate, or negotiator looking to enhance your ability to communicate with authority. You desire to ensure that your voice not only reflects your true power, but also inspires confidence in others. Embracing these skills will significantly benefit your professional journey, allowing you to assert your presence in any high stakes situation. Join us and elevate your impact in your field. This isn't just a product, it's a movement, a reclamation of voice, presence, and emotional clarity for women who've been told to tone it down or toughen up without ever being shown how. And we're just getting started. At Vocalogy, we're actively developing new courses, workshops, and tools to support you, whether you are navigating high stakes meetings, emotional conversations, or simply trying to feel safe in your own body again. If this work speaks to you, I invite you to stay close. Subscribe to our newsletter for early access to new offerings, behind the scenes insights, and tools that help you lead with clarity and calm. Because your voice deserves more than tips from YouTube or TikTok. It deserves a system that honors your complexity and helps you rise. I know what it's like to hesitate, to tell yourself you'll start when things calm down, when you have more time, when you feel more ready. But here's the truth: your nervous system doesn't wait. It's already adapting, already compensating, already bracing. And every time you delay this work, the patterns deepen. The emotional cache gets heavier. Your voice gets quieter, not because you lack skill, but because your system is tired of performing safety it doesn't feel. And that's why I'm inviting you to act now, not out of pressure, out of respect for the part of you that's already asking for relief. We've made this work accessible by entry level tools for quiet exploration, self paced courses for structured transformation, coaching and workshops for deep recalibration. And we're actively building more. But the shift begins when you say yes, not to me, but to yourself. So if your body even said yes, even quietly, don't wait for your mind to catch up. Choose your path, subscribe, begin. You've heard the strategies, you felt the shift, and maybe, just maybe, your body is breathing a little easier now. And that's not coincidence. That's regulation. That's what happens when your system is finally met with respect instead of with resistance. This work isn't about fixing you, it's about freeing you from the bracing, from the self editing, from the quiet war between what you know and what you feel. Your voice was never broken, it was just waiting for safety, for clarity, for tools that honor your complexity instead of flattening it. And that's what Vocalogy offers: not just products, not just coaching, a system, a philosophy, a movement. So if something in you said yes today, even quietly, don't let it fade. Because when your body feels safe, your voice becomes undeniable. And when your voice is undeniable, so are you. Thank you very much.